some technical issues and some technical issues. Okay, if you've joined, please comment fast. Last time I was not able to see many comments and hence I was not able to continue with it, so please quickly if we can. Okay, anyways, so let's start with trigonometric equations. So far in trigonometry we were able to finish off the proving part, the various trigonometry related problems based on the formulas. So I believe we are facing some network problem. Okay. Trigonometric equation. Watch this video later if you are not able to join right now. Thank you. At least Ramji sir is watching, so that's a relief. Let's understand what this topic says. Since it is about equations, you have to understand that we need to solve some unknowns. Like suppose if I am asking you to solve what will be sine pi by 2 minus x, you can clearly say that it will be cos x, correct? So we are saying that we solved this problem and we got this answer, but the point is this was not the solution of any equation. Solution of any given equation actually means when we have the value of x as an answer. That means whatever the unknown which is there. Suppose if I am saying that we have x plus 5 equals to 3. Now if I want to find the solution of this, I can simply say x is equals to 3 minus 5, that will be equal to minus 2. Now if I have this value, that means this is the value of x, or in other words, this is actually the solution of this given equation. So if I have this, that means I can clearly say that I got the solution of the given equation. So it is not different for trigonometry. The trigonometry has the same thing. Like in trigonometry also, if I say that I want to find a solution, that means actually I want to find the answer to the unknown or the problem that we are facing at hand. So suppose if I say that sine x is equals to 1 by 2. Now if you look closely, you will find that sine x is equals to 1 by 2. Here we don't have the value of x. We have the value of sine x but not value of x. But what is the unknown in this question? It's x, not sine x. Sine x though is the entire term, it's a trigonometric function. But what is the actual variable? That is x, the angle that we don't know. So when I'll be able to calculate this angle, I'll be actually saying that I got the solution to this problem. Which means x, actually I'll be able to find the solution. So if I have to find the value of x, I have to compare this on this side. Now look at it. This is sine x. Where do we get half in terms of trigonometry? Do we have some values, some answers? What is the value of, means what, at what angle the sine gives 1 by 2? If anybody has joined from the class, Naman, Pratyush, Aviral, Adit. Anyone who has joined, just tell me what is the value of the angle at which the sine is 1 by 2. At what angle sine is 1 by 2? Quickly. I believe you must have answered and I'm not you must have answered and I'm not actually able to see the replies. Thanks. So sin x is equals to 1 by 2 and at sin x half I 30, but 30 we don't write because when we move to higher classes instead of degrees, so we'll be writing here pi by 6, also written as pi by 6 in radians. So it is 30 degree radian. So sin x is equal to sin pi by 6. Now if you compare this, both the sides are equal because we have sin x and sin pi by 6. That means both the sides are represented by sine. Now what we need to do is we need to compare the angles. So if sin x would be equal to sin pi by 6, I can simply say that x would be equal to pi by 6. So x becomes pi by 6. And that is our solution to the given problem. And that is what we wanted to find. Here we are not answering for sin x. What we are doing is we are just answering for x. And that is what we need to find. So x is equals to pi by 6 was our final answer. Similarly, we can do it for cos also, we can do it for tan also, whatever, you just have to name the identity and you will get the value. So suppose I am saying that tan x is equals to 1. So now can you tell me the value of x? I believe it would be easy now. If you want to talk about degree, so it will be 45 degree, and if you want to talk in terms of radian, it will be pi by 4. Okay, so we get the value of x easily without being okay. Hello Pratyush, finally, thank you so much for joining. And Pratyush, can you please share this link in your class group? It is everybody to join the fine. Now we have to move to the next part. Actually, when we started with this concept of trigonometry in class 11th, we were able to move our focus from just one part of the to the. So that means if I was here, I have 0 and I have here 90. So what I was able to do was I was able to find the values of 0 to 90. But that was actually during 10th. So till class 10th we were actually aware of 0 to 90 and we had many angles in this. That was 30, 45, 60 and then came 90. So we had these angles already attached with us. We knew these angles. But when we moved to class 11th, in class 11th, we first thing that we studied was that the angles can exist further. That means the angles can be found out even greater than 90 degree. So if we have greater than 90 degree, that means here we have 0 degree, here we have 90 degree. We can also get the angles from this quadrant, and this quadrant. In fact, repeated quadrants also. I mean, I can go back again like 0, 90, this is 180, this is 270, this is 360, and I can move ahead of 360 and say I can find the value of angle 540 also. I can also find the value of 420, 720, 1140, anything. So if we have the values, the higher angles, still we don't have any problems. The higher angles can also be found. So when we have to find the value of x, this gave a dilemma that what will be called as the value of x, because there can be n number of values for x. For example, if I have, hello Naman, if I have sin x is equals to by root 2, that means x can be written as pi by 4. Now, if I have x is equals to pi by 4, okay, so if I have x is equals to pi by 4, that means I am in this quadrant. But what happens if it moves forward? It can move from here to here also, it can move here also, it can move here also. So it is not necessary that we have to stick to this part only, we can be finding answers in this. So how we will ascertain that which answer is right? There can be 4 answers. See, all quadrants have the value of pi by 4, all quadrants. But if all quadrants are having value of pi by 4, that means we need to find the answer in all 4 quadrants, then only our answer can be right. But then again something comes to mind, that why only 4 quadrants? The answer can be found from various other quadrants also. It can go round and round, round and round. Then what? So because of those confusions, and that was called finding principal and general solution. In our top, one solution, another is called as general solution. Principal solution, we have got 2 different things. They are the same, they are different. Entails that in one complete circle of one complete unit circle, or you can say that in the first round of the quadrants. That means this is first circle or the complete quadrant. Say this is 180 and this is 270, 360. Full circle values will be getting, we have to consider all the values. Values to one solution. So suppose if that tan x is equals to root 3, that means I should have 4 answers for this value. Okay, so I should have 4 answers to this value. No problem, guys, you can watch it slowly, I guess, because I don't find it in any other way it will be possible. See, so tan x is equal to root 3 must give me 4 answers. Now, how do we get 4 answers out of this? See, one from this quadrant, one from this quadrant, one from this quadrant, and one from this quadrant. But let's again get back to the question. Here I have got tan x is equal to root 3, which is actually plus root 3. Now, the plus root 3 means if nothing is written, obviously it's, you can't do anything about it, and still you have to deal with it because that's need of the hour, people. So tan x is equal to root 3. There were supposed to be 4 answers, and now what we have is we have 4 quadrants available here, but then we have to change it slightly. We can reduce our wide range of problems. Like tan x is equal to root 3, it is actually positive. Since it is positive, I know it is positive because there is no sign over here. Let me get back to the rule that we started with in our class 11th. The rule was ASTC rule. Everybody remembers, right? So this was all sine, tan, cos. Add sugar to coffee. Now understand. If I have tan x is equals to root 3, which is the positive part, and here I have all positives, that means one answer I'll be getting in this quadrant for sure. Okay, for sure that we will be getting one answer from here. Next, if I have tan and tan needs to be positive, can it be positive here? No. Can it be positive here? No. It can be positive here? Yes, because this is the quadrant of tan. So that means from 4 to 2, we have actually sorted our problem from 4 answers to 2 answers, precisely 2 answers. which are all positives, and tan positive. That means the first quadrant and the third quadrant. Only two problems we are facing now. So for every principal solution, two answers. Okay, how many? Two answers. Now just try and understand that principal solution will give two answers no matter if the value is positive or negative. Why? Suppose if tan was negative here, if tan was minus root 3, now what is going to happen? This tan could have come in this value, in this quadrant, or in this quadrant. Okay? Why? Because here also I have got tan negative and here also I have got tan negative. But in these two quadrants, tan would be positive and this is a negative tan. That means it is impossible for me to find the value of tan in these two quadrants when it is negative. So again I will be stuck with only two answers. So now you can easily remember that whenever you have to find principal solution, you always have to stick to only two answers. Just give two answers and move on. Alright, so how do we do that? Let's understand. I believe you understood this, so let's understand. How can we do that? Suppose I'm just taking the same question as tan x is equals to under root 3 and I'm trying to solve it. Okay, now what is going to happen here? Tan x is equals to root 3. I know it is positive. That means one thing was clear, as I already told you, that I'll be getting answers in these two quadrants. Now if you look at this, this is our 0 degree quadrant, this is our 90, this is 180, or I can say pi, this is 270, and this is our 360. So this is pi by 2, this is pi, this is 3 pi by 2, and this is 2 pi. Okay, so this is our quadrant system that I have just made it for you, just for the understanding purposes. Now here I have tan x is equals to root 3. Okay, now the tan x is equal to root 3 will give one clear answer that we have already studied in class 10, that tan x is equal to root 3. That means it can be written by tan pi by 3. Why pi by 3? Because we are talking about tan what degree? 60 degree. Correct? So at 60 degree tan is root 3 and it is positive also. We all know that. That means the first quadrant value I have already got, that x is equals to pi by 3. Now let's understand one more thing. Since we got the first quadrant, now we have to come to the third quadrant, this quadrant. So the first quadrant value is always easy. You can directly find without any hiccups. The third quadrant value is your real problem. Now how to reach third quadrant? So when you want to reach third quadrant, you have to stay here on pi. You are standing here on pi. And since you have to move forward, actually we are moving in anti-clock direction. So if we are moving in anti-clock direction, at this point we are at 0, at this point we are at pi, and as we move forward, we are moving from ahead of pi. That means something is added to pi, then only we'll be able to move out of pi or ahead of pi. Okay, so if you are doing any calculations in quadrant 3, what you are actually doing is you are just going pi plus something, whatever it is, you are just going pi plus. So just don't think too much and just write this. This is your second answer. Now this is a direct method to solve this. I'll just tell you how in detail we can do the same thing, but this is the direct method. Now if you add this, this becomes 3 pi plus pi becomes 4 pi by 3, and here I already had pi by 3, so x is equals to 2 values I got, and that is my answer. Okay, now how did this actually came into existence? Let's discuss here. If I actually want to solve the third quadrant problem, the real point was that what I had to introduce was I had to bring it in the third quadrant. Okay, this third quadrant should have been there, and then I could have got my value. So suppose I have tan and I'm writing pi plus pi by 4, sorry, pi by 3. Okay, now can you tell me what is tan n pi plus theta? It is tan theta. So I can write it as tan theta, that means tan pi by 3, right? So if I have tan pi plus pi by 3, it becomes tan pi by 3. Now understand, this value will actually give me how much answer? Root 3. What my search started with root 3, and see what I actually managed to do was that the value of tan pi plus pi by 3 eventually turns into tan pi by 3 and finally results into root 3. So I'm getting the same answer that I was supposed to get, but with a different value of angle. That is 3 pi plus pi, that was our 4 pi by 3. So that means we can find two answers. Now, if I've given you two answers, it is impossible to find any other answer available in this, in the first circle. Impossible. You can only solutions, not more than that. It is impossible. It's not like you cannot find. It's not like you don't have to calculate. It's like you cannot calculate. It is impossible for you to find, because there can be only two answers to this problem. So that's how we calculate the principal solution. Now suppose if I don't have to go into many details, so I'll be just taking one or two more examples and I'll just move on. Suppose I had tan x is equals to 1. Now directly can you give me an answer? So x will become pi by 4 without doubt, because it is 45 degree at which tan x is 1. So we have got x is equals to pi by 4. The second value is, again, where is tan positive? Here and here. Then here what we have? Pi. So what you always, for this quadrant, if you remember this, what I'm making right, forget. So I'm just talking about the first two quadrants first. Here whatever the theta is, let the theta be there. Okay, yeah, thank you, hijackler. I don't know your real name, so sorry. So this is theta. This place will always be pi minus theta. Anything just back of pi, that means subtracted from pi. That's why it will take me back to second quadrant. Anything in third quadrant will actually be given by pi plus theta. And anything in the fourth quadrant is actually given by 2 pi minus theta. See, 2 pi minus theta from here. So I go from here to here, or I go from here to here. Here, that is obviously the acute angle that we are getting. And if I am going here, pi plus theta. Most of your answers will actually be based on this, and you can easily get your answers. Sometimes there is a domain problem that comes your way, and that will be discussed later. But for now, whatever questions you have in your books can easily be sorted with this, especially the NCERT problems. Alright. So let me just write another answer for this quickly, and then we can move. So x is equals to pi by 4. The another answer was pi plus pi by 4, and this would be actually 5 pi by 4. So it will be 5 pi by 4. So I got two answers, and as I already told you that I have to search for two possible solutions. In the case of principal solution, I'll get the answer. Now let's take a negative answer. Suppose I have sin x is equals to minus half. Okay, or I have taken all examples of tan, so let me take one example of tan so that you don't get confused with the values. Let's take minus 1. Okay, so I'm taking minus 1 here. If I have tan x is equals to minus 1, that means I have a value which is negative in nature. So if I have a negative value, that means I will be actually expecting my answer in either this quadrant or this quadrant. Why? Because this is the negative quadrant for tan. So if I have this value, I will be expecting the answer to be in second and fourth quadrant only, and not in first and third quadrant. So if I want to find the value of, yeah, thank you, hijackler. So if I want to find the value of tan in first and third quadrant, I simply have to keep my angle in first and third quadrant. If I want to find the value of angle in second and fourth quadrant, I need to keep my angle in second and fourth quadrant. That means either I need to do pi minus theta, or I need to take 2 pi minus theta. In both cases, I will be able to find my answer. So let me bring it here. Now that means x can have two values. Either it can be pi minus pi by 4. Why pi by 4? Because I know there is 1. The negative sign is just to tell me which quadrant I have to look for. And the value, the numeric value, will actually tell me what is the exact acute angle that I am supposed to take. So this is what I am hoping, that I will get pi minus pi by 4 in the second quadrant. Yes, thank you. And I will have 2 pi, I'm using your pi buddy, sorry, 2 pi minus pi by 4. So if I simplify this, this becomes 3 pi by 4. If I simplify this, 7 pi by 4. So this is my principal solution. That's how we find principal solutions of all our problems. If you are an CBSE student, you can easily search through your exercise 3.4 question number 1. Okay, so 3.4 question number 1, there are I think 5-6 parts of the question, same kind of questions with different values, tan, sec, cosec, cot and blah blah. You can easily do that. For general solution, you just need to apply 3 formulas, which we'll be discussing later. Right now only principal solution, because most of the students are not able to join, so we are just discussing principal solution today. In our other classes, next classes, we'll be able to do the general solution also. So thank you all for joining. It was pleasure having you all here, and thank you for listening. Take care.